The following is a Joel Michalec production. On November 13th, Felix Unger was asked to remove himself from his place of residence. That request came from his wife. She asked him to leave because he wouldn't listen to the Joel Michalec Show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Joel Michalec Show.
And the Sharon Michalec Show.
And the Sharon
Show.
Show?
Show.
Shown.
What?
Show me the way to
creeper.
go home. All right. So welcome to the program. As you hear, alongside me across the desk is the lovely
Sharon.
And we thank you for being here.
I think I might demand that it be the Joel and Sharon Michalec Show.
So to visit us on the web, we'll table that. To visit us on the web, it's www.jmtalk.net. And on Facebook at JM Talk or on Twitter at JM Talk Radio. So the various ways to get a hold of the program. Also,
absolutely.
You can email us at Joel Michalec Radio. So I wanted to start this week's show off with, actually I want to thank a couple people, if that's all right with you.
Oh, always.
Okay. So, we weren't here last week. We didn't have a show drop last week. Yeah, things happen. Things get in the way. Everyone's got these issues.
Yeah.
Life, right?
Yeah.
So, and even though this is a podcast and it drops on the website at a certain time, we do have some stations that air the program in syndication for
absolutely.
us. And I wanted to take
and
them.
we're so grateful and thankful for those stations
and
that.
Exactly, which is right where I'm going.
Okay.
I want to thank, first and foremost, Tony Richards over at Reality One Radio, who is not only an excellent producer, one of the producers of the show, but also a very good friend.
Absolutely.
Indeed. So we want to thank him over there at Reality One Radio. That airs there on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Also, we want to thank Jonathan Rios, who is up there, I should say, from where we're at. I said over there for Tony.
Yeah, because
he's Jonathan is up there. 920 WON, the Apple, in the Bronx, in the Bronx.
In the Bronx.
Bronx. So we want to thank him. It airs there on Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern.
Absolutely.
And Charlie over there at Star FM up there in the Catskills, which airs there Friday nights at 6 p.m. So, and the reason I wanted to take a minute to thank him is because every once in a while we can't get the podcast done in time to drop a new episode. And so these fine people, friends of the show,
yes,
they are very cooperative and accepting of us, pulling things out of the tank or from previous shows they hadn't run yet and getting them set up to air. And so we don't miss a beat on these networks. So thank you, all of you fine gentlemen. Will you quit playing with your war wound from the weekend?
Yeah, I got a boo-boo.
You did? Well, that's because you were out there Game of Thrones the grass edging. So she's out there. Let me set this up for you, folks.
Okay,
Put this news down. So she's out there with a pair of, I don't know what you call them.
They're hand trimmers.
Hand trimmers.
They look
the kind
like scissors.
They look like real big scissors. And I'm not as big as Edward Scissors' hands, but... So she's out there edging the grass with these, and what she's doing is, because the edge has gotten so bad, is she is holding the shears with her left hand, right?
Right.
And like she's going to stab somebody with a knife, and then the right hand, she is bumping and pushing along to pry up the age-old grass so she can then cut it. So the one time she did it, I guess her hands were sweaty. She was working on, and here's the thing. Just a side note: there's nothing worse than when people drive by, and I'm playing cornhole, and my wife is sitting on the ground edging the grass by hand.
Right, by myself.
First of all, it has to be said that this is what she wants to do and loves to do and insists on doing.
It's relaxing for me. It really is.
But to everybody else, I'm an asshole that's like making you do all the work. Like, get down there and work.
Hey, maybe they know something I don't.
I just think as a side note, it has to be said that it's your decision that you want to do this.
And I mow the lawn while he stands there and holds the cord.
Yeah, the electric cord, right. So, I mean, I do my part there. At least
That's
I'm
all
there.
Good men should.
But when everybody drives by, every time you're doing something in the yard, I'm either playing or I'm the backup guy. I really look like, an ass.
That's how you feel.
That's how I feel. Absolutely correct.
And
anyway.
I can't change that. However, it has to be said, he's not allowed to touch my mowers. I get highly offended when he does. And trust me, he does try. He really does. But I get offended. It's my job. It's something I enjoy doing.
That is a whole other side of wicked. That one time I took her over and mowed the grass. Now, the only time you volunteer, and we'll get back to the rest of her injury in a second.
Yeah.
But the only time that you've let me touch your mower voluntarily is that one time you ran in the house and said that there was a praying mantis outside on the side of the house, size of your van.
Yeah, and it was bigger than it sat on top of my van and picked it up. Okay, it was humongous.
So the way she got her hand injured.
No, I'm sorry. I can deal with any insect.
I know, and you do, and I appreciate that.
I do. Except for praying mantises. I cannot deal with them. I don't like the looks of them. I don't like how massive they get. Like, one was a half a street long. That's ridiculous.
Now, a Chicago street or a Delaware street?
Yes. Yes.
So, back to the fact that she was working her ass off on this and probably sweating. So
I was.
She goes to do one of her jams, and her palm slides across and rips about 2 inches of flesh off the direct center of her palm.
Yes. And it hurt.
You didn't look like it hurt. You're very much a trooper. I mean, you're just walking over casually with your hand down. I thought you were going to give me something or you had a bug you wanted to show me.
Because I do that too.
And I'm like, why is she interrupting the cornhole game?
Right?
And it was because you had that.
I'm here injured. I have a war wound, and he's like, Dag burn it, why is she interrupting my cornhole game?
So almost a week later, you're doing, I guess, the right thing that everyone else would do. You're starting to pick at it and won't let it heal.
Absolutely. Well, no, the skin is flaking off.
You're flaking off.
Look.
All right. So because we weren't here last week, lots of things to go over. We probably will not get to everything that has been saved. But to give you a rundown, so if you're a new listener, we drop every week a new show, except when we have really tough weeks. But anyway, some of the things you will regularly hear besides our lovely voices is the Wombat of the Week and Honor Thy Heroes, 2 regular segments in the final stretch. So hang around for that because that's coming up later on. And boy, have we got a whopper of a wombat. And our first...
Get it? Whopper of a wombat? That's awesome.
And our first ever honoring a hero right out of this very county.
What?
Yes. So that's exciting stuff.
Do I know them?
No.
Oh.
So anyway, the first thing I want to bring to your attention, lovely Sharon, if you will.
Okay.
And everyone else listening, is, I've been very vocal about how the gender neutral thing is just, we talked about it on this program. I've talked about it on the last program. I talk about it all the time. It's just gotten a little crazy.
Out of hand is what it's gotten.
Right. I stand firm on my belief that if you are a man if you have a ding-a-ling, and you're a woman if you have a hoo-hoo. I'm just saying.
Wait a minute. What?
I don't know. I want to keep it semi-clean.
A ding-a-ling or a meat and 2 veg.
A dangling participle, as my mother used to call it.
Ew. What?
So anyway, I stand firm on that, but we can't stop the movement, right? Well, Mattel has thrown their hat in the ring. Everyone knows Mattel. Girls, you played with Barbies, right, when you were kids?
Yeah, man.
You had your Ken doll, your Barbie doll, and now when I want to put a picture in your mind.
Okay.
Everybody clear your mind. Theater of the mind here now,
yes,
folks.
Clear your mind. Mine's clear.
A child opens a box. He starts jumping and screaming with joy. Not an unusual sound in the halls of Mattel's headquarters where researchers test these new toys. But this particular toy is a doll, and it's rare for parents to bring boys into these research groups to play with dolls. It's rarer still for a boy to immediately attach himself to one the way that this child just did. An 8-year-old who considers himself gender fluid. Gender fluid, Sharon.
Okay, I'm sorry. Excuse my language. What the fuck is that?
And whose favorite color is black one week, pink the next. He sometimes plays with his younger sister's dolls at homes, but they're girly princess stuff, he says dismissively. This doll, with its prepubescent, you know what I mean, body and childish features, looks more like him, right down to the wave of bleached blonde bangs. The hair is just like mine, he says, swinging his head in tandem with the dolls. Then he turns to the playmate in the boy testing room, a 7-year-old girl, and asks, should I put on the girl hair?
Wow.
Yes.
I don't know. Is there a Susie down there?
The doll can be a boy, a girl, neither, or both.
How? No.
And Mattel calls this the world's first gender-neutral doll and is hoping to launch it on September 25th, which was about a week or two ago, 3, 4. Redefines who gets to play with the toy traditionally deemed taboo for half the world's kids. Yes, Mattel's first promotional spot for the $29.99 product features a series of kids who go by various pronouns. Him, her, them. Them?
What?
Yeah.
What's a them?
It's XEM. Why don't you look that up for me? And the slogan, a doll line designed to keep labels out and invite everyone in. Did I do a really good radio announcer like a Don Pointer voice?
Oh my God, I was so impressed.
Mattel presents.
I was so impressed.
So yeah. Yes. As you can see, this story is like 27 pages long, but I'm not going to go through the whole thing. We can discuss for a few minutes if you like, but this is absolutely nuts. This is again at XEM. This is absolutely nuts. Here we go again with we're just breeding something that, and I know there's purists out there who will defend the Native Americans said that there were multiple genders because it depended. You may feel like this, you may feel like that. And Native Americans, many tribes, taught their children that you may feel like this type of person, that type of person. You might feel like this animal, this spirit. So purists will say that this is how it all started. It didn't just start a couple of years ago where we, who have been in the norm for all of our lives, all of a sudden going, hello.
And we don't have a psychiatrist on speed dial.
Right? Like, we're the ones sitting here going,
Zen.
All right, so what does Zen mean? Here we go,
They're calling it a harvested cryptocurrency.
No.
That's what this says.
I'm telling you here, this one is Zen. This is XEM.
Zem is the native currency of NEM, public blockchain.
Okay, we'll have to get back to that.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
So a Pew Research survey, which was conducted in 2017, showed that while 76% of the public supports parents steering girls to toys and activities traditionally associated with boys, only 64% endorse steering boys towards toys and activities associated with girls. That's a really interesting survey.
Yeah.
But I as you can see or hear, I'm rather speechless on this. I don't know how to take it other than I'm not going to take it. It's not going to happen. And I'm telling you right now, my grandchildren are not going to be doing that. I want my grandson I want him to grow up slamming drums, man.
Right? Or pitching a ball. Wait. Throwing a baseball.
Throwing the pigskin.
Throwing the pigskin.
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly. And I'm a little flabbergasted. I would invite comments. I'll put this on Facebook, during the course of the weekend, see if we can generate some discussion on it. And remember, folks, when you come to the Facebook page for the Joel Michalec Show, I want to point out that we are very much of the belief that everyone is entitled to an opinion.
Absolutely.
Okay, so there will not be any slamming or arguing. Just discuss the points. Right. Anybody who goes beyond that will get knocked and blocked.
Yes.
While we're ready to rock. Sorry. So go ahead. Did you find Zem in relation to...
gender pronouns. LGBT Resource Center. Frequently asked questions. How does God gender neutral?
Can you speak up?
Gender inclusive pronouns. History of. First, let's start with the... It doesn't make sense.
All right. We'll have to look into it further, but we'll post this, try to get some...
The Zem that I'm reading is a currency.
Okay. I'm only saying because it showed up in this article from Time.
Maybe Time doesn't know what Zem means.
So
Zem's confused.
Right. Yeah, Zems are confused. So we will look into more of that and post that. But I'll post this story. Feel free to discuss it at Facebook. You can find us at JM Talk.
Yes.
But remember, we're entitled to our opinion.
Everyone is entitled to their opinion. Everyone is entitled to associate themselves how they feel. And that's...
Sure.
We're
absolutely.
not bashing that. However, we just don't understand it.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, we're not experts
on
all
everything.
High and mighty, and
that's right.
We're better than you because you think that you're a chick. Although you are high maintenance, sir.
Whatever.
Like a chick.
I was told, my mother's friends when I was a wee lad always oogled over my eyelashes.
I know. Oh my God.
I don't get it. I mean, come on. All right, so I'm approaching 50. Do I still have these oogling eyelashes? Thank God.
No. However, when I met you, I was oogling over your eyelashes.
Well.
Oh, goodness.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're interested, you're giving the middle finger to your injury.
I am.
Well, maybe next time you'll be a little more careful.
It just hurt me.
Put Windex on it.
Well, I have actual splits in this wound, so I don't think I should do that.
Should we go to urgent care?
I think
we'll take the show on the road.
Yay!
So we'll put that up for discussion on the Facebook page. Let's see if it garners any discussion about it.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me, and what doesn't make sense to me just shouldn't be.
Right. Now, if you think that was strange, if you're sitting there going, that is the strangest thing I've heard all day.
No, it's the strangest thing I've heard all week.
I would say to you, and everyone else who's thinking that, hold on to your beer.
Oh, snap.
Yes, because it gets, today, on this very podcast, it gets weirder.
What?
It will absolutely.
It can't get any more weirder.
It does.
I don't get it.
Okay, so... we have...
do we have enough time to get into that?
No, we're actually going to break.
Well,
so
then
I was
why
just
don't
going
we
to say,
do that?
I
yes.
am. So if you would allow me to finish, I just have to take a drink.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
I'm parched.
No.
I am parched, and I'm trying to get through this.
So let me take over.
Peace out. So, all right.
Right,
so
peace out, Pete.
We're going to take a quick break, and stay tuned for the weird yet to come.
No.
Yes, weird. Right after this.
This is New York's Super Oldie Station, 920 WON, The Apple, Brooklyn, New York.
Answer the damn phone.
Section Assistance, can I help you?
Shoe store.
Yes, sir.
What time are you open till?
We open till 9:30 tonight.
Yes, you've got plenty of, shoes there?
Yes, sir.
The shoes have soles on them?
Just one sole, one outsole, sir.
And how many shoes do you have in the store?
How many do I have in the
How
store?
many shoes are in the store? Now, can I get the soles without the shoes?
The outsoles?
Yes! I want the soles. I need the soles.
No, sir.
What?
We can't see all the soles are already glued to the shoe.
I am the Prince of Darkness. I need the soles. I command thee to speak! Our Father who art in hush puppies, hallowed be thy heel. I need souls, man. How many souls can you deliver to me today?
Deliver to to you.
Take my hand. Walk in the valley of the darkness.
Sir?
I command thee to deliver your souls to me.
Hello?
Yes.
How can we help you?
I need souls.
Some what?
I command thee to give me your souls. Hello.
Can I shoe say?
Hi, shoe store?
Yes.
You have sandals over there?
Uh-huh.
The sandals come with souls?
Yes, they do.
Huh?
Yes, they do.
Take a walk in the valley of the darkness.
Sir?
What is your name? What is your given earth name?
Jason.
Jason.
Actually, Jason is my middle name. My first name is John.
John.
My last name is Baptist.
John the Baptist. Oh, how perfect.
Hey, man, you're a sick individual, man.
I command thee to embrace the darkness!
What was that now?
I command thee to embrace the darkness.
Hey, let me tell you something. Why don't you go get a life, man, and go play with yourself, okay? That's ignorant, man.
How about if I play with you?
Why don't you come on out here and play with me then?
I will come and play with you.
You're a sick-ass individual, man.
I'll use your head as a basketball.
Okay.
You play a good game of hoops?
Man, I'll f*** you up. You don't know you're dealing with, all right? Good afternoon. That's call for that. Derek speaking. Can I help you?
Embrace the power of the pumps.
Hey, what's your problem?
Your mother sucks bunions in hell.
You're a sick individual.
I'm not sick. I am the Prince of Darkness.
Go get a life.
Hello?
Pretty finishing. Can I help you?
The best part of waking up is Satan in your cup.
Hey, you know what? You're f***ed up.
Huh?
You're f***ed up in the head.
Fuck you.
Yeah, okay. Hey, why don't you come down to the store?
I will f*** you up.
Hey, come down to the store and let me meet you.
I'm the Prince of Darkness, asshole.
Man, I don't care what the f*** you are. You're a goddamn idiot.
I am the Prince of Darkness.
Hey, go f*** your mom.
I will f*** your mother.
Welcome back to the program. It's the Joel Michalec Show, and you can reach us online on Facebook at JM Talk and Twitter at JM Talk Radio. So, it's October.
It is, and it's my favorite holiday.
Right, so that's right. And so because it's Halloween month, we do have a couple of things to talk about here that could be related to Halloween. This is a good time to talk about them anyway.
Yeah.
And so the first one, I did promise that it gets weirder here on the program. And so this story that I want to talk about, which actually now that I see it is quite old, but that's all right. It's perfect. Is about a woman who's dating a ghost and says that the ghost has proposed and she wants to have his babies.
What?
Yes. So
come on.
Well, listen. Today the world is full of things that are just beyond our comprehension.
Wow.
Who are we to judge what someone else believes or not?
Okay, this is not a judgment, but she's effing crazy.
Well,
that's not a judgment. That is fact.
It's in the eye of the beholder. But let's take a deeper look at the case of Amethyst Realm.
Okay.
She is a spiritual guidance counselor, and according to her, she has fallen in love with a ghost. She says, I refer to it as him because that's easier. He's very ancient, very wise, very kind. I would say he has been on the planet for a very long time. No, relax. This is not the plot of a horror movie coming out this month.
Are you sure?
Okay, it's very, very real. She says that she met her ghoulish partner when she was on a working trip in Australia. And she admits that the Australian ghost is not her first lover from the ghostly world.
Oh, my God.
However, she notes at this time there was a special connection. When asked how she and the ghost met, she said she was taking a stroll through the forest, enjoying nature. Then all of a sudden, she felt an incredible and unexplainable energy. And at that point, it was clear to her that her new lover had arrived.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy.
Miss Ellen was reluctant about leaving Australia. She did not want to leave her newfound love all alone. But fortunately, the ghost agreed to follow her home and boarded the plane with her.
Now, I have a question. Did he have to buy his own seat? I mean,
it doesn't mention anything like that, but I wonder if
could he just hover?
Did they join the Mile High Club while they were on the plane
together?
What?
That's the truth. Oh my God! I wonder. We should call her. Should we call her?
She said that during the flight, they did consummate their newly formed relationship.
Oh, so she did join the Mile High Club.
Yes.
Wow.
So possibly this woman has proven the existence of ghosts. Of course, you and I have a keen view on that, and not because we're fooling around with, spirits in the spiritual world.
Right.
But the fact that we're amateur paranormal researchers.
Yeah, exactly.
However, unlike in most movies, it seems that they can't freely fly around. And they do need, ghosts do need planes as much as we do to get around.
Really?
Yeah. So, okay. On a sadder note, it mentions that it seems the ghost world isn't all fun and games. A ghost has to plan and board a plane in case they are thinking of haunting anyone far away.
What?
I mean, seriously, what kind of currency do they use if they go around to different countries if they have to board a plane?
Yeah, I mean...
And how do they board a plane? Do they have a boarding pass?
Right.
I mean,
And their luggage. What about their luggage?
And how do they get paid? What kind of job do they have on that side of the realm?
Right, so...
On that side of the realm, get it? Amherst realm?
I get it. No. But, yeah, the luggage... Now, do they have to follow the same rules we do? As far as luggage size, carry-on, how big is a carry-on?
I don't know.
This is crazy.
We need to find a follow-up. It says here, according to Miss Allen, the Australian ghost gathered up enough courage to ask her for her hand in marriage.
Wow.
As you can guess, the answer was a big yes. The wedding is set for a weekend from now. So if this came out in November of 18, we need to find a follow-up to this to see how how'd the wedding go. I mean, did her father approve? I mean, did
the ghost have to ask
her
father's permission?
Yeah, I mean, was it what did the church look like? Was it quiet on one side and all party on the other side? I mean, did anyone get on a mic and be like, yo, man, this party's dead?
I think she's watched one too many shows of Casper, the Friendly Ghost. All right. Now, what is her name?
And she says that she had already, at that point, given up men to have sex with ghosts.
Oh, come on. What's her name? It's gross.
Amethyst, as in my birthstone.
A-M-E. How do you spell that?
A-M-E-T-H-Y-S-T. Realm, as in the other realm. Realm.
R-E-A-L-M?
Yeah, that's one of those words. Realm. Realm. Yeah, you're trying to get a follow-up? Yeah. So while she's getting that follow-up together... we have another story that is right in line for Halloween. And I just want to check the date
that's also a song.
What? Amethyst Realm?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a lot of things.
It's just
by
one of those
the
names. Claypool Lennon Delirium.
All right, well, I'm delirium enough after that story.
When was that?
November of 18.
I have December 13th of 2018. My interview with Amethyst Realm, the woman engaged to a ghost.
Still engaged? Like a month?
On December,
a month later?
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe there's a little trouble in paradise.
Let's see.
So while you're looking that up, let me talk about this other thing. And we found this a couple weeks ago, and we kind of just bided our time to bring it up. And this is out of Delaware, There's a town in Delaware called Milton, okay? And it was established in 1807. It's a small little town. Well, not a small, but it's a nice little town.
No.
And we pass through it every week, and it's a quaint little place. Well, anyway, they have this zombie fest every year, okay? And it's grown into one of the town's largest annual events, being in such a small town. And, I mean, last year it attracted more than 5,000 people. So you have this influx, around Halloween. Excuse me, folks. With this zombie festival. Zombies are a big thing. Well, anyway, It's been canceled.
Oh.
So the family-friendly Halloween-themed event held in October every year has been canceled.
Why?
And organizers are pointing the finger at the town's mayor and their council. So according to Fred Munzert, the festival's organizer and director of the Milton Theater, who hosts it, says the Milton Zombie Fest stage, which was to be used for musical performances, would not be allowed on Union Street under the guidelines that the town approved. They also restricted the number of food trucks that would and would not allow vendors on the street, he added. He says, I feel like we're saying no to fun. You cannot have fun in Milton.
Wow.
So he's been having people come to this festival from across the East Coast for years. And he says the whole thing is such a shame because it's such a fun and unique event. So, of course, Milton Mayor Ted Kanakos was not available for comment and did not return requests or calls or things like that.
Right, of course.
But I can't imagine why a small town that has a festival like that. Zombies is the big thing right now, right?
Wow, yeah.
I mean, the local national known haunt in this county, Frightland, has 8 zombie attractions. I mean, they're all zombies. 8 attractions with all these ghosts and zombies. And why would a town that gets double its population influx for this event
wow.
and gets all that extra money and that tax money, well, not so much tax money, but you know what I mean, gets all that extra tourism dollars, why would you cancel such an event? It's scurrilous, to use a term.
Wait, so it brings in all this extra money, but you know what?
But they changed the rules. So it knocks out the things they need. They can't have the stage. There goes your musical performances.
Wait, who made these extra rules?
The council. The mayor and the council. Yeah.
Huh. I think we need to make a call.
So, or maybe another town needs to pick up the... Pick it up. I mean, there's other nice, quaint, small towns in Delaware that could host such an event. But I feel bad for the guy who organizes it. It's been something that's been going on for a while, and it's just not going to be there anymore.
Maybe the town... I have a suggestion for the town. My suggestion would be Delaware City.
That's a good town. Listen to this. The plan... Last year in 2018, the tickets for the events were $10 for a ticket. And the organizers had planned to convert it, starting this year, into a free block party. No fee, free block party. Can you imagine that?
Wow, that's a lot of money and effort put into something that they want to give for free.
Right. But the town doesn't want it, so...
Well, so they
Boo Town. Milton is now Boo Town. Boo!
Get it? Boo
right.
Town?
Yeah.
I get it. That's funny. That is funny.
Did you get an update on the wedding? On the nuptials?
I do. I have it's an interview that someone did on December 13th, 2018. Okay. October 30th may have been what they call a slow news day. Gangster Whitney Bulger was murdered in prison. Farrell sent a cease and desist letter to Trump.
Okay.
Kanye now wants to distance himself from politics. Woman who has sex with 20 ghosts is now engaged to one. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
What? What happened? I'm reading this.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought...
No, I'm just trying to get to the update. Stories of my lifetime. It was a headline.
You want some more time while I go into something else?
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
There's really no...
So there's no update on whether they tied the knot?
No.
Okay. All right. Well then, as you may or may not be aware,
Okay.
Regions of the Middle Atlantic states, including here, have been having problems with spotted lanternflies.
Oh, yeah. I remember you.
Did you finally get to see a picture of one?
No, I haven't.
Really?
Yeah.
Do I have one here?
It looks like you might.
No, that's an ad.
All right, let me look it up.
So, anyway, the problem with these spotted lanternflies, they got here pretty much the same way stink bugs did, from packaging that came from China.
Okay.
Thank you, China, for sending another friggin' bug. I mean, is there a war on that we don't know about? Like, they keep sending us bugs?
Right.
And so these things, they're weird. They don't necessarily look... Yeah, I know. I've seen that picture. So these things are destructive, especially in that they destroy fruit trees. They will swarm fruit trees.
Yeah.
And they eat the fruit. They eat the bark.
Right.
And so it's so bad that there are now orders in pretty much all states and counties and localities. You see one, kill it. The order is to kill it. They want them murdered. I want his family dead. I want it. They want them whacked.
Wow.
And they want them whacked out of existence. And then the other problem is in some municipalities, they converge at dark. So, like, people say they come out of their house and you don't even see your car. You just see a big, giant pile of these flies because they clamor your car.
Right.
So here in Delaware, there's several counties where we're under this quarantine where we're supposedly... Oh, my God, I just threw the story.
Why did you just do that?
Now I got to bend down and get it. Oh, my back!
My back, my legs.
Oh, man, this is really not good. Okay. So... What was I saying? Oh, okay. So, you're supposed to have a form from the Department of Health and go out there every time you go somewhere and check off this list to make sure that they're not transporting a lanternfly on your car into another zip code.
Okay.
Right. So, but anyway, so this woman, Candace Jeffrey, she's a visual anthropology graduate from Temple University. From the moment she first saw the insect at the Philadelphia Folk Festival in Montgomery County, she said, I need to make spotted. I want to make spotted lanternfly jewelry.
Come on.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
She says, I had never seen anything like it before. They're just so beautiful, which is in direct contrast of what you just said.
Yeah, I mean, they're weird looking, number one. Number two, they're weird looking. And number three, they're just damn weird looking.
And she says, and I just had to have the urge to make wearable art out of nature. So she says she just squishes them and then clips off their wings. And then she coats the wings in laminated material, attaches them to fasteners, and sells the final product at local festivals or on her Etsy shop for $28 a pair.
Yeah, let's not
in the future
visit that.
She also plans to experiment with silver and other materials. So, yeah, that was a pretty quick story, but we're almost out of time anyway.
Wow.
But yeah, so, I mean, fortunately, she's doing the right thing first. She's killing them. That's the order.
Right.
She's whacking them, you know? But then she's making a profit off of their death, which is really strange.
That is too weird.
I mean, she's a prophet. What's different between her and the blockade runners during the Civil War, moving products from the south to the north and the north to the south? Okay. What's different from that? She's profiteering off of war with
That's like taking
spotted
stink
lanternflies
bugs and making earrings out of them. Come on.
Well, you know, in Asia, they toast them up in a frying pan.
No, stop. No.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Nope.
Nope
Sorry.
to the nopist, right?
Nope.
All right, so because we're an informative show, I will post the link to her Etsy shop.
No,
and this
don't.
story.
No, come on, that's enabling
We're
her.
here to inform.
No, but
she's
not
already
to
been
enable.
enabled. She's already been enabled.
Yeah, because we've told that story on our show.
Well, yeah, I look high and low.
I guess that's one way to get advertisement.
I look high and low for quality subject matter.
And you have.
And if you have a problem with it, you can talk to management. He'll be in at 8 o'clock, second Tuesday next week.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, I guess Sharon will be taking her leave of absence.
I will.
Already from her senses, but now physically from the broadcast booth.
Okay.
And when I come back, final stretch, we have Wombat of the Week. Got a explosive one for you. We're also honoring a local hero right out of the county that we are broadcasting from. Plus, if time permits, one last thing. And we'll tell you how you can get involved with Wombat of the Week and honor thy hero, because there's ways for you to participate.
Yeah.
And that's all coming up after this break. Say goodbye, Sharon.
Goodbye, Sharon.
And I'll be back after this.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Broadcasting from a crummy little studio in Baltimore, Maryland. This is Reality One Radio.
You see why we need your donations?
Welcome back, everybody, to the Joel Michalec Show. This is the final stretch, the third segment of the show, and I welcome you back. We are so very happy that you're here spending time with the podcast. We're happy that you downloaded it, and we're happy that you like it. We appreciate all the positive feedback that we receive week after week, so thank you for that. During this third segment of the show, which again I call the final stretch, we have a couple of regular segments that are entertaining. Wombat of the Week, which we'll get to in a second. I'm going to tell you how you can get involved in that and what it is. In case you're a new listener, we want to explain to you what it is. And then we also honor a new hero, local heroes, each and every week. And then if there's time, if time permits, and I believe time will permit tonight, then we talk about one last thing, hashtag one last thing. And the exciting thing sometimes is if we don't have time, you end up getting a bonus, a video, one last thing at some point during the weekend that the show drops. And if you're really lucky, you're going to be getting some extra one last things on video anyway. So stay tuned for that. Some exciting stuff lurking around the corner, as it were. And so first, we will do Wombat of the Week, and if you're a new listener, you want to know what it's all about, this is what it's all about. Wombat of the Week is basically us putting on display stupid people that do stupid things, and it winds up in the news. You can take part in this by submitting news stories of stupid people doing stupid things. And you can simply do it by emailing it to wombat@joelmichalec.com. You can also email it to joelmichalecradio@gmail.com, or you can send the link over Facebook at JM Talk. So you send that link along and it goes into the running. I will tell you this, it could get in anyway, maybe not the week you submit it, but depending on where we're at with stories and backlog, and that's the thing about wombats, they're out there by the droves. And I want you to get involved. I want you to get involved by sending us some stories. And this week is a user-submitted Wombat of the Week. So that's how you get involved. And I hope that you do. I hope that you take the time. If you run across a story like that, send it to us. Now, of course, if it will be verified. We have to make sure it's a reliable piece of news and not something just taken off of Facebook. Not everything you read on the internet is true. And if you think it is, then I am really sorry that you feel that way, and we might be able to get you some help. Okay, so here we go. The first wombat. Some weeks we've had two. Some weeks we have had multiple wombats. Not this week, though. So this one comes out of England, yes, across the pond. And this is about a carjacker that killed himself when a shotgun went off as he tried to smash the car window. He died when he accidentally blasted himself in the chest while trying to smash the window with the butt of his shotgun according to an inquest that was heard. Officers investigating the death of Reese Ramsey Johnson said they were satisfied there was no third-party involvement as they closed the probe into his killing. Witnesses who saw the 22-year-old dying from gunshot wounds in the street outside a Lloyd's Bank in Sydenham on Sunday, this happened in September 8th, by the way, said his own gun may have gone off when he used it to hit the car window. Opening the inquest at South Thwark Coroner's Court on Thursday. Coroner's Court. Dr. Andrew Harris confirmed that the police investigation has now been ended, and they were satisfied with that, with what they found out. No third-party involvement. So, witness testimony suggests that the actions of the deceased led to his death, and the police are not conducting any criminal investigation. This was, again, a quote by Dr. Andrew Harris. He added that there is no reason to suspect that this was an unnatural or, some sort of violent participatory type of death. Post-mortem examination found the cause of death was shotgun wounds to the chest. So a shopkeeper on the street said that a group of guys were sitting in a car by the bank, and then this big guy came up to them with the shotgun. They all got out of the car and ran, so the guy decided to damage the car with the back of the gun. And as he was hitting the window, the gun went off, and he shot himself in the chest. So, so here's the point. And first of all, I mean, the very basic point here is don't do crime. Don't carjack people. And, I don't know, let's say you have this urge. You must go out and carjack. You must go out and commit crime. You must go out and you feel like you're going to smash a window with the butt of a shotgun. Maybe practice on go to the junkyard with your shotgun, take all the shells out because I want you to be safe. And maybe practice a couple times just to get the feel of what your force of ramming that shotgun butt may or may not have hitting that window. Because only two things can happen. It will either shatter the glass or it will not shatter the glass. And in this case, it did not shatter the glass. Plus, Mr. Johnson had apparently his finger on the trigger. So when he hit the force, whatever finger that was on the trigger pulled said trigger. And, if he could look back on it, was it worth it? I mean, I just don't get people. Are these things worth it? Is it worth doing these things? What is the benefit? Because, this goes into the files of stupid crime, first of all. And he paid the ultimate price, not really knowing what he was doing. I am absolutely certain that he did not even know what he was doing, handling the shotgun. And now he's not going to find out either. So he does win the award for Wombat of the Week because that is a jackass move. If I've ever heard of one, that is a jackass move. Can we just all be good to each other? And first of all, I mean, if he's carjacking and everyone gets out of the car and runs, why didn't he just take the car? He felt he had to damage it? The only thing that got damaged, son, was yourself. And at a very young age. Very sad. Very sad. But you wear the crown. You are the Joel Michalec Show Wombat of the Week this week. So wear it well. So that is what the Wombat of the Week is. So if you're a new listener, you just send the oddball story in. A story that makes you yourself go, WTAF. Send it on in. Maybe we feel WTAF as well. So now the other thing we do in this segment is we have this great segment, hashtag Honor Thy Heroes, and we honor everyday local heroes. They don't, they don't have to, wear a badge or a uniform. They could just be everyday people. Now, this week's Everyday Hero, this Honor Thy Hero segment, actually not only comes out of our state of Delaware here, but it actually comes out of this very county that we broadcast in, and which is really cool, because when we don't get submissions for heroes, because just like the Wombat of the Week, you can submit your stories of everyday heroes. So when we go out looking for them, the first place I look is I do scan, the state of Delaware, trying to keep it close to home, close to the heart. It's hard, right? It's very difficult to find stories of people doing amazing things. These stories are so hidden by the garbage stories, and it makes it really difficult to find them, but that's where we look first. And we found one this week. Comes out of Ellesmere, an Ellesmere officer that saves 3 overdose patients during a single shift. So this is from the blotters from Friday, September 27th. During the course of his 12-hour shift, Corporal Stephen West assisted the Newcastle County Police Department on 3 separate CPRs in progress related to heroin overdoses. The first occurred, it doesn't matter where they occurred. 3 different ones in a 12-hour shift. Corporal West was the first one on the scene for each incident and was able to successfully administer life-saving measures, including Narcan doses, reversing the effects of the heroin, allowing each subject to regain consciousness and start breathing on their own. And then, of course, all suspects were transported to the hospital for further observation after the incidents. So, first of all, what a great job. Okay, let's get this out of the way first. Very good job on the part of the officer. It's tough enough, especially in the area he's patrolling, on a 12-hour shift. Okay, then to find yourself in a position where somebody's life is dependent upon you. That's a really that's a situation that I can tell you from experience, from being a paramedic, that is a very interesting situation to be in. And I said this before, with people that wind up in these unique situations, you don't know how you will react. And so he saved these 3 lives, which may have otherwise gone a different route. This is the work of a hero. No doubt, hands down, that is the work of a hero. Okay? I do want to... And so, Corporal West, you are the winner, or it's not really even a winner. You are crowned. You have the distinct honor of being our Honor Thy Heroes this week on the show, and thank you for your services to our community. I can say that for the first time. Thank you for your service to our community. So, as an afterthought to that, and before we get to one last thing, the comments. Sometimes when I'm reading stories about wombats, I love the comments because they're so funny. So I always draw my attention to the comments to look at what other people are thinking, what they're saying about anything, really about anything. Sometimes comments are like the best. It's like the trailer is sometimes the best part of the movie. Comments are the best part of the story sometimes. But in this case, there was a lot of negativity about the fact that people were overdosing. And so there was a lot of negativity about the fact that he did this, wasting resources, and obviously there's 2 schools of thought on everything. The fact is he saved lives. And the fact is that there's some people who you cannot change their mind and say, listen, this is a disease. I mean, being addicted is a disease, okay? And so if you don't understand that, then you further don't understand the fact that there are not enough facilities. And I've blogged about this and I spoke about this as far as mental health and drug abuse help and all kinds of things where we have been basically, for lack of a better way of putting it, we've been shit-canning the services needed to take care of these kinds of people. And so then they're left out on the wings of a prayer, so to speak. And, so you have those people that don't understand that, and so they want to They want to look at the negativity of this officer saving 3 lives because they were 3 lives of people who are addicted to drugs, and believe me, I mean, I get the fact that like a lot of the arguments is, why do they have Narcan for addicts if they don't have something that cures cancer? Or, well, there's a lot of different cancers. I'd rather see an argument that would be more accurate, like, why can't we get free insulin for diabetics? I mean, being a diabetic, that would interest me. Your argument of having something to give to cancer patients, there's so many cancers and so many ways to attack them, right? But if we could get the help, I mean, that's the thing. Like, having an Narcan, great. Yeah, that helps if you wind up overdosing, and that gives you a chance to come back. But we have to go further, right? We have to look at it and go, hey, we have to go further. We have to look at what we're lacking. We're lacking programs and systems, and we've been lacking them for the better part of 30 years. And that's what we have. We have to address it from that point. So, so that's what we have to take a bigger look at. Nationwide, it's as big as an epidemic as other problems, as homelessness. I mean, homelessness is an epidemic that I think we need to put some more money and thought into on how to solve that problem. Well, let's get people with mental health issues and drug addiction issues, let's get them the help that they need. Yes, there are going to be cases where people do not want the help, or they'll refuse to help, or there'll be some people that you just cannot help. There's always going to be those types of people. But these are fellow human beings, and and we should have these programs. We've had them before. We should have them to help get them off of that stuff, and help them get on their feet and help them do other things. We can't just leave them out there. It's easy for someone who's ignorant of facts to say that. It is. It's very easy. It's too easy. And what I'm saying is, and you know why? Because we don't want to look at the hard part, right? It's been a long time that in a lot of ways, with a lot of different situations, this one included, and like crime, like I almost feel like no one wants to look at the hard road. No one wants to do the hard work. And that's what this is, right? That's what it's easy to give them a shot and bring them back. Okay, here you go. Hope you don't do it again. You get 24 hours in observation in the hospital, and then you get kicked back out on the street. There has to be some other part of that end game. That's what it is. We need to do the hard work. We need to figure out what's next after that. We need to bring back facilities and staff and the help that these people need, that in a lot of different areas. I can go on forever about all these different areas that need that kind of attention, but we don't have that kind of time. And quite in fact, that piece right there after crowning Corporal West with the honors became the one last thing. That's not the one last thing I had in mind, but that's okay, because now I have a one last thing for next time. So in the meantime, I want to thank everybody for listening to the program. Remember, new episodes drop every Sunday, unless, like we said earlier in the program today, sometimes things come up and we can't drop a new one, but we're always thinking about you. And we appreciate that. Remember the website, jmtalk.net. Stop there. There's a 24/7 stream. You can click on that and listen to us all day and night to your heart's content in our own little syndication off the website. Also, subscribe to your favorite player. We're on iHeart, we're on Spotify, Apple, we're all over the place, so you can get us. Leave us some reviews, some feedback. Remember, Facebook, JM Talk, Twitter, JM Talk Radio. And we're looking forward to hearing from you and seeing you back here on the next show. So remember, be good to one another, and when you're out and about, pick up 3 pieces of trash. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.